Hey everyone, welcome back to Psych Reacts. I am Poseidon, and today we're going to be looking at another killer interview. Let me just remind you, I am a psych major. I am still in school, so I am obviously not an expert, but I am just taking what I have learned and applying it to these situations. So that's all I'm doing, and I'm just making inferences, so my comments may not be. So this is a video from Dr. Phil's channel right here, as you can see, and it is a teen convicted of murdering his mom with a sledgehammer. So he claims in this bar here, you can see, says, "I hear voices in my head, but I'm not mentally ill. Why won't my family believe me?" Now in this interview, he does not talk about the voices that he heard, but let's just go over a few points that I found interesting, and then I will say what I think is going on at the end of the video. Again, I am not an expert, so let's go ahead and hit play.
Did you kill your mother?
Yeah.
You killed your mother. And why did you kill her?
She wasn't taking care of my family.
Meaning?
So right off the bat, I just want to point out his body language, his whole stature, his facial expressions. Everything he's doing, he's just kind of sitting there, which, you know, like, what else are you supposed to do? And he's in handcuffs too. But the main thing to point out is his face. So the way he's looking is very blank. There's like no emotion. There's no like, hey, you know, there's no like, oh my god, I killed my mother. Like, to be able to sit there and just like not even acknowledge it. Like, there has to be something else occurring. So just take a look at his blank stare, his lack of emotion, and everything else that is occurring. Also, to pay attention to his responses. They're very short, cut off, clean, and straight to the point.
And so because she wasn't taking care of you and your family, you decided to kill her. Did you think about discussing it with her instead of killing her?
I didn't think it wouldn't do anything.
You thought...
So normally, when your mother is not taking care of your family, okay, so this is his claim, you would either try to help out, like get a job, go help out, whatever it is, you would try to help, and you would have a normal conversation with your mother and be like, "Mom, I need you to step it up." Now, he doesn't think it's gonna work, which sometimes it may not, but killing your mother is something you can't take back. His illogical response was to go and kill his mother. Usually, you would try and work things out, and if it doesn't work out, then you just wait until you can get to a point that you can move out and live on your own and sustain yourself. But his response was completely illogical and completely extreme.
When did you decide to kill your mother?
I decided the day I did it.
So this wasn't a planned attack. This was just a spontaneous action. So apparently he does claim, not in this video though, he claims that he hears voices. So it could be that one of the voices told him to go kill his mother. And voices are usually associated with schizophrenia. I feel like it's very possible he has schizophrenia because he does have that blank stare. There's no emotion whatsoever, which is a major symptom of schizophrenia, along with the voices and the hallucinations and all that, which falls in line with a schizophrenic disorder.
How many times did you hit her with the sledgehammer?
I don't remember.
About. Did you hit her once, or did you hit her 10 times or 100 times?
I'd say about 20 times.
Was this a 3-pound sledgehammer, 5-pound sledgehammer?
I don't know.
Heavy.
Yeah.
So one thing that people point out about Dr. Phil is in this interview, he's asking him, okay, so you did it like this, right? That's not really the correct way to go, because you want to hear it from them. That way they're not taking your ideas and just going with it. So that's the only like criticism, I guess you could say, I have against this interview, is because he's not allowing him to speak, even though he doesn't seem like he wants to. But he could just be saying all this because Dr. Phil is saying it and he's agreeing to it. However, notice when he's being asked about the events that occurred, he says, "I don't know a lot." So either he's not telling the truth or he actually has no recollection of what happened. This can be an example of a schizophrenic break or episode. So that occurs when you're not really in your mind at the moment, which can possibly lead to this if left untreated. Okay, so in this moment right here, Dr. Phil is asking him and explaining the events that occurred, saying that he went in during the night. Listen to his response.
Or what's going through your head at that moment?
I don't remember. My mind was pretty much blank.
So this also kind of alludes to schizophrenia because he does not have a recollection of what happened. His mind is blank, it's clear, it's just non-existent kind of thing. So it could mean that he was not in his right mind, allowing for other influences to come in and make him do this action. So in this section here, Dr. Phil is asking more about the scenario and what occurred throughout these events. He's kind of getting like a walkthrough through the events, and he asks this guy, did he say goodbye? Listen to his response.
Did you stand there and look at her for a minute before you did it?
Yeah.
Did you say goodbye to her in your mind?
No.
So he stood there and looked at his mother, didn't even say goodbye, didn't even say I'm sorry, didn't say anything. He just went with it. Still, I'm going to argue that it could be schizophrenia because he wasn't in his right mind and he does not know what he's doing kind of thing. So in this section here, Dr. Phil is asking about what happened when he hit her and if he heard anything, like if she made a noise and all that stuff. This gets a little bit graphic, so just fair warning.
Did she make a noise?
I could just hear the hammer hitting her head.
And what did it sound like?
It was this wet thumping sound.
Yeah.
So that's pretty chilling. Like, he talks about hitting his mom in the head, and the sound of it makes him laugh. That's pretty chilling. Possible, however, that if he is schizophrenic and he is hearing voices at this moment, it's possible that one of them said something and he heard it and he thought it was funny, so he laughed at that. So it's possible he wasn't laughing at the thumping noise. However, we don't know. We're not in his head.
How long before you hit her the second time?
Just a few seconds.
Did you think she was already dead?
So in that section here, he kind of starts laughing before a question was asked. So let's watch that again.
How long before you hit her the second time?
Just a few seconds.
Did you think she was already dead?
See, so there's a split second where there's nothing. So he's already answered, so he's not laughing at his answer. He is not asked a question. He starts laughing in the middle of the next question. Did you think she was dead or something, I think is the question. So it's possible, it seems like it's pretty evident that there could be voices talking to him right now, and what they're saying him laugh. So that is pretty evident in this situation because there's nothing else he would be laughing at unless he's hearing something in his head. So let's just watch that again.
Just a few seconds.
There's a pause.
Did you think she was already dead?
And then the laugh.
Did she look at you?
I looked into her eyes, but she didn't look at me.
So he full on was looking at her and she didn't look at him. She probably couldn't, to be honest. I don't know how much the damage was done before he looked at her. He might not have looked at her at all. We don't know. We aren't him. We aren't in his mind. However, in the situation, the sign seems to point towards schizophrenia of some sort. There are multiple disorders for schizophrenia. There are like different types. So in that section where I said he's laughing without a question being asked, he answers, there's a pause, and then Dr. Phil doesn't even get his question out. He says, did you think? And then this boy starts laughing. So it is possible he is hearing voices in his head, and they said something that made him laugh during that moment. So I would suggest schizophrenia. However, I am not an expert. I am still going to school. This is just what I believe based on what I have learned. And I am not a medical doctor, and I'm not diagnosing him. I am just saying that it could be schizophrenia. So this has been Psych Reacts. If you want to see more, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!